Hello. Good evening. It is a wonderful evening. It's been a great day. It is Sunday, August 19th. And for your happy healer, me, Keith Landi, I have been doing great today. And just sharing and wearing that hat of the happy healer. And just sharing so much in that moment. Because that's where so much is gained. And what you see behind me is my website that is up, even when my other one is down. And so what I want to come on tonight and do is just tell you about that, what happens, because it's just an unfortunate set of circumstances. Because remember, love don't pay very well in America and really anywhere. And that's just the truth. But that we can come from a better place and do better things, but it has to be forward thinking, something that wasn't tried before. And that we have that in this candidacy. So it's a pretty good candidacy, really, actually. And for the people to have that as a choice is a great thing. And I'm not the perfect candidate either, even though when I talk and in many ways I kind of sound like it. It's a balance. Ultimately, I am very responsible and a great person for such a leadership role. I care about people. That's what we need. Care. And somebody that can convey that, because the people often need it. And I feel coming into this next decade, it'll be needed more and more. And that we can avert a lot of stuff. And that we can change the direction we see the future headed right now. And many of us knew that this hell was kind of on its way. And many of us are still a little bit blind and naive to just how dangerous it is. Although not too many are left like that. Now they're just sort of intense and insane. And this is where you're breeding your like shooters that we were just talking about. It's because of these intense groups, and people are becoming very radicalized in their views. I'm a middle of the road kind of guy, and most of us are. Those radical people, they're killing it for the rest of us, and they represent the greed mostly, because that's greedy even in their hate. And remember, hate's close to love, so that's greed and hate. They love each other. They're like this. And so they go at each other and they just stay together and go forward. And so you got to be aware of that when you see those together, greed and hate. And that's what you get when it's politics. And that's why it's ugly. And that's why I say I'm not that big of a fan of politics, personally. Somebody said to me, well, if you want to be president, why don't you go first to be a political this or that? I said, I admire politics. That's hard work. I'm not signing up for that kind of hard work. There's a lot of great politicians, and I contend. But this country does not need another great politician. It didn't need that when it got Trump. That was just a wrecking ball. What it needed was a brand new direction that takes care of people and that puts humanity above capitalism. So important. Because if you could make just some small changes like that, you're feeding into love. And you're doing it and you're giving love the credit. It's very important. And so that you're doing it for the right reasons, then it gets done. And that you bring the people in unity to do that, just that. That everybody ultimately wants that. It's recognizing a larger truth, folks. That's why I say my candidacy is it's actually a very reasonable one. And so if you were to get behind the whole Happy Healer brand, that's what it is. Everything I do in business or whatever, whomever I become, I want to bring with me the love of humanity. That's why I'm out here. That's why I learned these skills. And that's why I'm going to continue on these skills. This is just a start. And so it always gets better. That's the point. And so that's what you're investing in that. You're helping me become better. And I'll grab it and run with it. So it's a vote of confidence also. And because you know that when you're investing in somebody to become their best and to drag along an idea that you agree in, that everybody's getting value in that, not just in the obvious ways, because I don't ask for that. What I ask for is just that I'm allowed to do what I love. This is what I ask for ultimately. Because when I'm doing this, then I'm happy. That's why I'm your happy healer. Because I'm happy when I'm doing this. You get what I'm saying? That's where that came from. That's why I always want to be just doing this. People say, oh, well, why don't you go and do some other thing? But then I'm not doing this. Where would you want me to be? This is where I want to be. I'm not hurting anybody here. And that's from an honest broker of truth. Because I'm saying the truth as I see it. And because I'm open to conversation. Always open to conversation. So at the heart of it, I'm always willing to discuss with you what you think is a greater truth. And when reaching that greater truth, I change my mind. See, that's a humility, which is very close to love. They're cousins. I'll always keep you informed on that stuff. So this is very important, and that's the happy healer in me. And imagine just if we can have a president like that. Wow, how different would that be? How incredibly different would that be, right? Think about it. Okay, we're going to do a prayer real quick. Gosh, everything that works for God has always got a struggle. Why is that? That's how you know that it's working for God, though. Really. Okay, Heavenly Father, please just show folks far and wide all over the place the truth in their heart that they just have to grab onto. It's that easy. They have to see it. Somebody must tell them, and their good friends and their relatives, and then the good message, it goes on because it gets spread. And that's the kind of healing message that folks need. So please make me a better happy healer. Help me get better. Help me get stronger. Make me a better entertainer in happy healing. To help people understand and to communicate, a better communicator, so that I can help communicate in ways this important message so that people know it and that they can benefit from it. Amen. How about that? Because this is important to me. And it's important to a lot of people. And not just me. That I'm out here doing this. It's important to a lot of people. Not just me. That I'm out doing this. Okay? So try to be a part of that. And the other thing that it's important to them is they want to see it work. They want to see the system pay for itself. They don't want to intervene. Oh, what do you know? Greed at it again. Yeah, they want to see it work. So, and we all kind of do. And that's why I'll never let you down. Because there's some already who invested in me. I'd never let them down. So the ultimate thing then is you get to just live with yourself then. Because I'm going to continue doing it. I'm not stopping. However, there are going to sometimes be those dark moments, which then just leads me to come on extra strong because I'm sensing there might be one coming. So I'm coming at you extra strong during this time. And then if I'm knocked off the air for some time, I'll have to make a heavy decision on what I have to pawn. And that's how love gets by. It makes compromises. You see? Otherwise, you don't get to do what you want to do in this life. Nobody does. Oh, unless we create a way. And so ultimately, we are tapping into that human essence in a real way. In saying, what can we accomplish from this plateau? It's a new place. And that we bring more people into a place like that. It's very giving. It's the kind of love that says, oh, I trust you. You're good. And that's how you are with your partner then. That's right. It's that kind of love. It's the kind of love that always lends out hope. And that you deserve it. You have every opportunity in the world to live a life worth living right here, right now. It does not have to be a compromise at all. You could be in the magical wonder of God's world and life and all the amusement and greatness that comes from that because you are your own show, really. You get to choose where you live. If you want to live in that hell or if you want to live in the light. If you want to live in the light, you have that choice. The light is a choice that you can step into, and it so happens that it's love. So I tell you what it is too. Somebody said, so to join the conversation, what's that cost? And I posted it because I said, that's BS. I've already given out what I've got, and I'll continue to give out. See, I'm not a one-trick pony, so I'll just continue to have a stream that never stops. And so the idea behind that is to build faith in people. That's what you do. And so why would you want that to shut down also? Think of that. It's very important. You know, even I've been able to inspire my family, which I'm proud of, because they can see, they know who I am. They grew up with me. They know who I am, ultimately. And I love my family. And a shout out to them. And this prayer is for all the people of the world, because really we're all going through hell. So Heavenly Father, watch over us, help us through this time and through all times, and to deal with the past times, to let that animosity go, and that is the true appreciation we have to you for life, O Lord. And that by letting our animosities go, that now we can start to live a life worth living, because with those animosities gone, we're free to love. Amen. How about that? See, I have a trickle flow. That's why you've got to keep that around. And if we don't keep that kind of thing around, then where do we get that from? Because there was nowhere for me to get it. I had to build it in my mind. That was a process. And so if we can get, and I do have to just continue with my presidential run as we go as well. But you realize there's so much value in this, because we can do that. It's on the table. And I have some exciting things that I'm doing in order to make that just that a reality. And there's already been people, as you know, I've reported, and it's on the site that's well on, consequently down at the moment. But it is on that site, and that is that we are making progress. That we had SAG-AFTRA come out and talk about how great of a candidacy, or at least that I had answers and perceived the situation, and that I should be seen and looked at. It had well over, I believe the last time I seen it, which now I've been too busy, I'm moving on, and that it had over 60 likes. But again, I'm focused on the future, and we've got the past, but we're focused on the future. That's what I say. The past isn't something to run from. It's just something to acknowledge and to get better. You improve yourself. Ultimately, there is a trajectory. And each one of us are always going to be limited by the hell around us, by that greed, by the amount of that greed that's there, because it takes from all of us. Make no mistake about it. And for those at the top, it's always chipping at their feet. It'll never give them a break either, because underneath you always have that back and forth. It never lets it go. And those people, there's so much animosity against the other people because there's a class warfare. So we'll get out of the civil warfare, which is partly from the class warfare, but then you have people that are on the same side of the class warfare, but on different sides in a civil war. So this is all nonsense. We need to get away from all of this nonsense, and we need to get people on the same page, which is on the page of a life worth living. It's far better than a life of hell. That everybody seems to be in that mode. And so that's what makes it so scary and deathly ill to those of us that are sane, that actually we are heading towards a civil war. We should pull back now, and that we should sound off, because if we don't sound off and we don't pull back, then what we have is something very ugly. You already see it every day and all the time, and instead of saying what it is, the opening follies to a civil war, they just keep on saying it's this one terrorist element, that it's just because they're bad people and they're white supremacists. It's completely the wrong message, and it's the way greed does things. Remember that. But don't worry, the truth is right here, and that truth sets you free, because that truth is powerful, and that truth unites, because when everybody knows, oh, that's the truth, then it's easy to get on board with that. But when you're just adrift in the ocean, well, then that's the kind of leadership we have at that point, because look at our citizenry. A good leader can unite doing what I just said. That's what would make your happy healer a good leader. It's a strong case. So that's what I do. And I'm going to continue doing this. This is my role since the beginning, and I've gotten better at it. if you go back and you look and you see it where I'm at now, you see I'm developing and I'm evolving. And this, of course, is a part of the overall Happy Healer evolution. I love that. That's always going to be around. The Happy Healer evolution. And I want to inspire you guys to go on your own Happy Healer evolutions. That's a dream of mine. I would love that. It's just open love. It's changing your ways. It's understanding there's better ways. There's better ways to handle things, to handle your stresses, to handle the problems that you're dealing with on a daily basis. Because some of this stuff eats at our soul, and it leaves nothing left. And remember that love creates. So when you get motivated, then you create a whole new wealth, even in your own life, even in this greedy world. So you can lend and borrow and pull from that love, and your Happy Healer can help you get it. See, that's why people who laugh, you need to tone them out. That's right. And then what you do is you end up with something so special that your life improves from it. And that's the kind of change that I've had with people that I love, because they ultimately accept that love. And then I say thank you for accepting it, and that they receive it and I receive their love back. It's a give and take. That is so special. And no, that's got nothing to do with money. We're running for president. This Happy Healer stuff I've been doing for a whole long time. And for the longest time, the worst thing I'm good at is getting motivated about the money part. I have no kind of hats to buy, no shirts to buy, none of that. I've been doing this forever. Think about it. When I have extra money, it means I have extra time to just focus on this 100% of the time. And that's what my record shows. Okay, so the only reason I'd ever come to you for money is because, well, then, I must be really broke then. Oh, and besides, when we're running for president, I plan to be healthy. So there will be that aspect as well. Because we have, financially, because we have every which way we're trying to be healthy. But financially, we also need to be healthy. Because we have to be able to show progress in ways. I'm understanding of that. And I'm selling the house. And so that we could do that. That's a vote of confidence I have in all this, really. And I think that becomes part of the Happy Healer story as well. And that I'm ready to move on with a new chapter in my life. It's all about a life worth living. See, I'm also investing in it. I really believe in it. And then I take what I've got locked into this whole episode, and I move forward with it, and we're running for president. Now, that's sustaining money. I need to actually go and run for president. So that is a mission unto itself, and I will prove myself in that way with my sustaining money, and I expect the help to get forward from that point, you see, because then I would have used the love that I've already retained, that I've already earned, and I spend and use in my daily life to be able to go and get that. Remember, love can take from greed very easy. So you've got a lot of those greedy players out there that have so much stature, that have so much built up in them, and love can just rip it away. It's like that. Just it needs to be in the same presence. And that's why I need to be at those debates. And so you can definitely pull from that. And that's what I would do. I would say, how dare you do that to the people? They're so special and precious, and, just where I'd come from. It would be from such a wholesome place. And that's where these people never talk from. They talk and assume like we're all bad, and we're all not bad. But if you're ever going to get a good one, it's got to come from the bottom. It's got to be an honest broker of truth that can explain their truth inside and out, backwards and forwards, that they could be grilled upon that truth, and that it holds up in the light of all of that scrutiny. And then you're dealing with something. These are things that actually work in life. And that's it. There's nothing else to it. There is nothing else. It's just that when you hear what works for your soul. Your soul is engineered as such, apparently, isn't it? And we've always felt that person, they have that special something, right? And we've always had that. So that's nothing new. But, well, folks, good night. I just wanted to come at you again. Go to that site. I'll tell you what we're going to do before I hang up with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and put this right on the screen for you. I'm just going to make a little message because I want you guys to really respond to this if you can, because it'll help me stay on the air. And I want to be on the air, ultimately. I'm going to continue doing what I can from where I can, whatever I can. That I could promise. But beyond that, then I'm, of course, within the confines and the means of what this world is willing to put out for a lover. And watch out if you're a lover. Okay. There you go. So if you are able to do anything, so what I'm doing here is putting the address, because actually the website's down, and that's normally where I would accept donations from. I hope you like the relaxing kind of tunes. For me, it's nice. I enjoy it. And I enjoy talking to it. And I enjoy a lot of things. When you're in the place of love, you enjoy everything. Everything is so fresh. Everything is so amazing. So, and I know you know that. If you love, because you give value to things. So it's just totally different. Other people, they discount everything. So as soon as you get there, you already know, oh yeah. Everything has no value in your life. That's right. It's like so dull. They don't even realize that. How can I be? I'm so much more enlightened. I have so much more love. How can I be hurt by your, like, whatever it is you're trying to transfer to me, those energies? Mine is more powerful, that love. It bounces through, it knocks them out of the way. That's nothing. That's small potatoes. I'm on deep stuff. So that stuff, you guys are like little children in the playground. Because some of them use that. They go straight to that. It's the first thing when you're threatened. You go right to the whole making fun of, and it's all part of the hate. It's all in that hell. It loves it. Condescending, and it's just crap. And that's what we got to stop doing to each other. And that's what's causing us to stop being able to talk to each other, because it's painful. You guys have to stop doing that to each other. That laughing stuff, mocking, that's what we're talking about. Mocking is part of hate. And when you do that, you're killing the soul. And you're making it less likely someone's going to have courage like me. Courage, the cousin of love. Because when I come out, it's taking courage. And I do it over and over again. I make it look easy. And you can too. And I always say, doing a show like this is one of the great advantages of the times we live in, of the 21st century. I encourage it. And I also do a film class that I help people. I've learned so much doing film. So I'm trying to provide as much value to you guys as I possibly can. And that's what the Landi Mantic's Brands of Passions is about. So that also gives back to the people. Remember that. I'm committed to that. I've been doing that for a long time. Don't take that away from me. That's my truth. My truth. That's right. And in the construction of it, it has 40 Landi Mantic's Brands of Passions, all dedicated to bringing people together based on passion. Because I'm convinced in love. And I know the power of love. And so each one of these passions have the ability to bring in people based on different walks of life. Some could be gay and straight and different things. But because they share such a strong passion, for example, and I use this a lot, drones, then that brings people together. They may not see eye to eye on everything, but they sure put up with each other enough to hear and listen. That means you could break through. And I do. Love allows for that. And it keeps you safe in it. I contend. Although you do have people who break through and people who are just that vile. But love watches out for that too, because remember, love gives you that appreciation. People ultimately see it, they know it, and you know it. And that love also gives you that ability to comfort. You know you're doing the right thing. So if somebody like how Taj Jackson had done to me, then that would have been very easy for them also to stick and stay true to the cause of love. And that's why so many people, they feel like love betrayed them. But we have to repair that in them. So if I'm selling anything like that guy was saying, to kind of round off on that, I'm selling the kind of love that will help you repair that hell. How about that? But it's free, and that you never had to pay for anything. You're just getting it every day. New information that makes you feel great just for that day. And then the next day you get that, if I'm allowed to. If I'm given that gift, that honor, that pleasure, that solemn oath, that privilege, if you would, to speak out to the people and to show love. It's just a simple thing, really. And I want to be able to do that. It means a lot to me. Like, I haven't gotten to be able to do a lot of things I want to do. And when I was younger, I've always wanted to be able to do more in humanity. But I did in all the ways. My mentors, they even watched my program. And I was their protege. And in many cases, and this applies for quite a number of people, and they all see and they know that what I'm doing from then to now, they know the person that I've been. And it matches for them. And they sometimes have a hard time themselves dealing with, wow, what's the right thing to do? How do they handle it? But it's funny, even in those cases, how often greed wins. To me, it would not. But even in your case, it wouldn't. The thing is, you don't even know who I am or where my genuine soul is until you hear even more truth. Some people already heard enough. And for these people, they heard enough. That's what makes me because some people even go through all of that. That's why I say the blindness can be so thick. But there's some people that they get that truth and that they cut through it quickly. But here's the thing. With numbers, you convince people. When there's more people at the party, you bring life to it. So that's why you got to have a party in the first place. Before I showed up to the scene, there was no party. Remember, I looked for a party. There was none. There's people talking about the issues, but nobody that says, here's a way out. And that's what I come with. And I'm always coming with that from several elements. The version that tells you how to get healthy and whole in this hell, so you could just be a happy healer and be happy. And then aside from that, how we all go to build a better world, because that's where we gain our value from. That's how we make ourselves matter. The rest of the world will miss us when we're gone. That's right. They don't want anything bad to happen to their happy healers. Isn't that great to know that? It's because you're actually putting value back into the system, even though they accuse you of not doing it. All right, folks. We'll leave it at that. God bless you for this evening. I will see you tomorrow, God willing. Well, if a boy's dream is to come true. We'll just put it like that. And we'll see you tomorrow. God bless you and good night.